Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Turd Ferguson 619 channel, where today we usually don't do a lot of YouTube videos whenever we feel inspired or motivated, but a big cinematic event just happened and it inspired us to come up with something to talk about, which is Avengers Infinity War. We're going to be giving our thoughts, reviews, analyzing, and we want to warn everybody that there are going to be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, go watch that and then check this out. Bookmark us or store us so you remember to watch us right after the movie, because I think out of everybody that's covering this, our analysis is going to be very thorough. We're going to so thorough that analysis. Reminder, spoilers, and here we go. I have a guest with me today, and my guest, would you like to introduce yourself or should I do it?
You do it.
All right, so this is my guest, George Scott.
Oh yeah, that was my pseudonym.
He's a professional film reviewer. He's seen over 500 films.
Just this year.
Just this year. How did you do it to watch so many films?
Well, thanks to the new sponsor, MoviePass.
Yes, what about MoviePass?
I don't know, I didn't think of an improv past this point.
So, thanks to MoviePass, you subscribe to that and they let you watch unlimited movies.
Unlimited movies if the limit is 4 times a month, and you can only see one movie once. So it's unlimited past those barriers.
That's how he was able to see 500 movies this year because of the MoviePass. He goes to the movies every day and watches one movie a day because of the MoviePass. And when you do your math and geometry and realize how many days there are in a year, and if you watch one movie a day, that's how you get 500 movies just this year.
And I used the time stone to watch multiple movies at the same time, just like Hermione did to take all those courses in the third Harry Potter. See, I'm a nerd like you guys.
And we were just buying time right now, letting you guys ponder whether to continue on watching this video, because it's going to be full on spoilers, nothing but spoilers. Now you've been warned, we bought up enough time, now we're going to get straight into it. And as far as talking about this movie, I don't know how other people do it, how they decide how they're going to talk about it, but they always give their final thoughts at the very end. And I figured the best way I want to do this is from a wider scale and just work my way in. So I'm going to start with Overall, how did you feel about the movie?
I liked it a lot. Like, the one thing I had with this movie is I'm too nitpicky about this, is I feel like there's some people that criticize it, but it barely is mentioned that much. Is where it doesn't feel quite like a movie, and when I say that, I mean like it does. Like, people say it doesn't have a traditional 3-act structure. It kind of just goes and has events building upon each other. So, like, if you're a huge fan of this movie and you kind of already know the backstory behind it, then you're enjoying this because it's all your favorite characters doing all your favorite things and doing cool stuff and a compelling villain. But if you're like a traditional movie fan, which I doubt anybody that's watching this movie is, like you're not going into this blind if you're not invested in these characters. Anyone who saw the movie this past weekend is a fan, so it didn't really matter. But that's like my only nitpick. Is it kind of just goes. It doesn't like it doesn't have that bell curve of a normal like 3-act structure movie. It kind of is like a roller coaster with its peaks and valleys, and it's like that the whole way through. But nonetheless, it is an entertaining film that is 10 years in the making, and I would say fulfilled most of what it promised.
I enjoyed the movie too, and I'm not really complaining about the structure. While watching the movie and before recording this, I kept thinking about the movie, and I felt like you can't grade this movie or rate this movie as you would any other movie, because every other movie has, like you said, that 3-act structure, whereas in this movie, it's an event. It's something that has never been seen before and it's never been attempted before, where you have multiple characters from different movies. The main characters all come together into one movie. And the more I thought about this, I realized the only example we have about, just to give you an idea about lead actors and main characters coming together.
Justice League?
Justice League, that's one. And another.
No other movie has done what Justice League has done.
And now you can put Avengers Infinity
Finally,
War in
Marvel
event.
has their own Justice League, but did they surpass them?
That's the
Tune into the
question.
end of the review to find out.
And overall, I enjoyed the film as well. Um, and I was also thinking about another movie that was an event as well, like this one, where you had multiple lead characters. And I don't know if you agree with me or not. What about Ocean's 11 with George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon?
I agree. I was too young when that movie was first came out to have that. Like, it's tough to say because I'm older and I've seen that movie on repeat viewings. And when you see things like with repeat viewings, you get more comfortable with the movie. But I'm curious, my first time watching it in theaters, if I'm like, there's too many characters. But I think it did have a good enough balance. I mean, like every character got their moment to shine, and I can see the parallels you're making between Ocean's 11 and this one, and not the Frank Sinatra one, the one with George Clooney.
Yes, I tried watching the Frank Sinatra once, and it's one of those movies where I just didn't have the time to watch it because it was a lot of dialogue, a lot of story, a lot of what's that word called where they talk a lot.
Boring. No, but we're getting off topic. But yeah, with Ocean's 11, a lot of characters. Well, I mean, like if so, a parallel I can make between Ocean's 11 and Avengers is, hey, I'm a really big George Clooney fan, and there wasn't enough George Clooney in my Ocean's movie. In this movie, I'm a big Captain America fan, and Captain America didn't really do that much in this movie. I wanted more Captain America, and I do kind of feel that way about Captain America, but my metaphor is valid, where it's like there are so many characters, like, to actually, like, so Tony Stark has plenty to do here. It feels that way, or Doctor Strange feels like he has plenty to do. Captain America doesn't feel like he has that much to do. The Guardians feel like they have plenty to do. So some characters do feel like they're under, what's the word? I'm not underperforming,
Utilized?
yeah, underutilized. They feel more underutilized in this one, and I guess it's, I mean, plenty of Thanos, plenty of Iron Man, plenty of Thor, plenty of Guardians. Not that much Iron Man, not that much Bucky, not that much Black Panther. Pretty much all the characters in Wakanda, except for like maybe the Hulk, didn't get there much use, but everyone else is fine. But it's like, I guess I have to wait a year if I want to see them do anything cool. Which is unfortunate, like, because and you watch the trailers and you're like, oh my god, Steve Rogers has a beard. I wonder what's going to happen. And then you're like, oh, he just grew a beard. Okay. He fought some guys too. He doesn't throw a shield. They're just stuck to his arms. That's cool, I guess.
I understand what you meant, and I know when I heard the announcement of this movie and thinking about it, how they were going to make this movie, watching the trailers, the whole time I thought it was going to be, I think they mentioned it, 75 characters. So I was expecting to see 75 characters.
Stupid number.
Interact all at the same time. But the way they did this was much better than what I expected because they put everyone in a separate pocket or in a separate situation. Or to quote another person on YouTube, that it was one movie made up of multiple B stories.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when people were watching the trailer, they weren't thinking, man, I can't wait to see Wong for 2 hours and 36 minutes. I mean, that was that was probably in the back of everyone's minds, but not like, we were like, wow, there's a lot of characters. But I mean, like, Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't in this the whole way through. Wong wasn't in this the whole way through. So, there are a ton of characters, but it's like, oh, they have their moment, then it passes. So those are those characters on smaller scales. But, everyone has their different plot points that they reach, and then they have their moment, and then moving on to the next person. So it's a continual rotating cast where you're like, oh, it does that story thing of this happens and then moving on to the next thing, and then this happened. So you're developing someone's arc, and right when it hits like a pause, then you switch over to someone else's story, and then as they progress and then hit a pause and then moving on, it's it's kind of an ebb and a flow. So that's how it keeps the audience entertained, is it keeps moving and it keeps rotating between the different characters, and then it keeps doing that until its ultimate climax where you get the big war at Wakanda, and then you get the big fight at Titan, and then those plot lines converge, and then the movie ends.
Which, what I loved about the story and the way it was put together.